Hi guys. So after watching the graduates video, my biggest takeaway I think was that sometimes or I know I do at least, live in this world, this bubble where life is a certain way and families are a certain way and everything just works a certain way, and it's not like that for a lot of people, especially from what I watched on the video with the Latinas. A lot of them have issues and circumstances that we're not, or that I'm not used to or like familiar with, I guess. For example, the video talked about some of them struggling with money, peer pressure in the communities as far as like joining gangs, getting involved in criminal activity and stuff like that. And then lack of educational role models, like not that their parents, well at least the parents in the videos, not that their parents didn't care about them, but education wasn't like the main thing. So, like for me, my mom went to college and she got her master's, and so that was like a thing. Education was a big thing in my family. So I think a lot of times their families are more focused on making money, raising the family, as opposed to like education being the main focus. And then it was saying how like some of their parents had quit school or dropped out in high school or even junior high to help support their families. So they weren't like the best, they didn't have the best like educational role models. So that's something that's a little different from what I would be used to, or what a lot of us are used to. So a lot of it, they have to get that education role model from school, from guidance counselors, from teachers, just other people that can guide them down that path. And I think, at least in the video, pretty sure most of their families were supportive of them to pursue like higher education and stuff. So it wasn't that their families didn't want them to. It was just like it wasn't kind of the path that they had taken, so they couldn't really be much of an example as far as going to college and all of that. But so yeah. And then there were several people that were talking about immigrating and how they had come over from other countries, and that their parents brought them over so they would have a better education. So, and I think a lot of times people like, look down on immigration and say that, they shouldn't come or this and that. But I think in the end, the people that want to come to America want to come for better lives, better opportunities, better schools, just a better future. And so I think it's courageous of some of these parents in the video who risk their life to bring their kids to this country to so that they could get a better education and have a better future for themselves. The issues that are most relevant in my community would probably be the kids needing to help out at home. I've had kids tell me a lot that they couldn't stay for tutoring because they had to take care of their siblings at home because their mom, the only one they lived with, worked nights, so they had to be home. I've had kids tell me that they this was actually this last year, I had to get a paper signed. The kids had to bring home a paper signed, or bring back to school paper signed. And this boy never got his paper signed. And he's like, I don't see my mom, so I can't get it signed. I'm like, you never see your mom? And he's like, nope, never see my mom. So I'm like, he's lying. He doesn't want to get his mom to sign the paper. There's no way you never see your mom. And so the mom said that, yeah, she goes to work around 5 or 6 p.m., and then she doesn't come home until the next morning when they're leaving for school. Well, have already left for school on the bus. So they don't see their mom. By the time they get home on the bus, she's already gone. And by the time they have to leave in the morning on the bus, she's not back yet. So the kid was a 6th grader, and he took care of his younger siblings all night because his mom had to work. So it's like those situations that are prevalent in my community. Also, kids being homeless. I guess you say homeless, but by homeless I don't really mean like they're living on the streets homeless. Like they don't really have a steady home. They're kind of hopping back and forth between foster homes, or like grandparents and then back to parents and then grandparents and back to parents, kind of like back and forth, or living with friends. So it's actually like more common, I would think, this past year, going back thinking about it. I think it was more common for me when I called home to for it to not be a parent. So it was kind of like, yeah, so that's kind of a big deal in our town that we live in, or that I live in. I guess how I would address these issues, I would think just talking to them, ask them, kind of like, where would you like to see yourself in the future? Like, what are your goals? Like, if you could look into the future and you see yourself like 10 years from now, what do you want to see? And so I would hope that they would have some sort of goal, or some sort of like plan, or something to look forward to, in the future. And then we could talk about, well, like, what would you need to do in order for that to be a realistic thing for your future. So we could kind of focus away from the negative stuff going on in their life and try to show them that there is a future, there is something to look forward to. So then maybe we can start to map out and make goals for how they're going to reach that future goal. And then, just be there to encourage them and be that positive role model to show them that that I care, and that there is somebody there that will always listen, no no matter what they're going through. So, thank you.